Hi, my name is Tim Johnson, and this is about the concept development model that I chose to research. And this is focused on the work of Hilda Taba, Jerome Bruner, and Howard Gardner. The detailed description of this model is that it emphasizes how concepts are refined. It builds on basic concepts, which are part of the learner's prior knowledge, and develop a framework for new understanding. The model teaches students to make observations and to form categories and labels for data, producing a conceptual design. The history of this particular model was started by its creator, that is Hilda Taba. And the Taba model theorizes that generalizations require deeper thinking and the need to strengthen connections between concepts. Jerome Bruner, a leading psychologist, was also a part of this. And he coined the word scaffolding, which is known for identifying methods related to student concept discovery. And the concept of discovery learning implies that students construct their own knowledge for themselves, which is also known as a constructivist approach. And then thirdly, Howard Gardner, who was the psychologist who developed the theory of multiple intelligences. In the model that Taba produced, it has 5 different categories, which include listing, grouping, labeling, regrouping, and synthesizing, and is interaction between teacher and student, where teachers ask questions and students code and do the legwork to produce the data. Jerome Bruner had an interesting concept of giving students an idea and then giving the students opportunity to turn around and produce the idea, as you see in the illustration where the 2 boys are building a pyramid after the suggestion from the teacher. Bruner was also instrumental in proposing 3 modes of representation for intellectual development in infants up to age 1. These 3 are the inactive, iconic, and symbolic stages. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences looked at multiple different ways of measuring intelligence in human beings. Instead of just 4 or 5, he had at least 8, perhaps more. And then Music Smart is one of the pieces that I cued in on. All 3 of these researchers' elements have multiple meanings that are related one to the other, that have to do with multi-tiered support strategies and SEL learning solutions. And these strategies provide an information processing model designed to support learners. What they have in common is that they have designed to enhance intellectual ability, mirroring MTSS strategies. They identify ways to enhance perceptions of human beings, and they seek to acquire and organize data to find solution to problems. These concepts are developed using language, including arts, to convey meaning. And the CDM help learners discover information and can support SEL opportunities. The CDM build concepts and hypotheses, but typically they usually emphasize core subjects, which led me to wonder if the common thread connecting the work of these 3 might suggest that they could be merged. And in doing so, how they could impact our MTSS strategies and SEL solutions with students. Howard Gardner was a proponent of using symbols, such as music symbols, to enhance the education of students, because it provides them with a code to unlock and decipher music, for instance. And this same concept could transfer itself over to core subjects as well. And we see that the same holds true in learning how to play guitar, where EL and SEL students learn to read tablature instead of the standard music notation. And the concept of development theory that I reflected on, as far as different points that I read, is that all students need to connect with their own culture, and students cannot gain a foothold in new learning until they establish connections to their own culture. Music as a language can provide a bridge for SEL and English learners to help learners make the necessary connections. And if EL and SEL students had an opportunity to build upon their cultural heritage to improve art programs and opportunities, what would the pre and post assessment data look like? From my research on Taba's work, her theoretical framework in creating curriculum is considered relevant by many researchers in the field. And I am curious about our own district, and my question is this: is Taba's work woven into the fabric of our curriculum? If so, could this curriculum be supplemented with Gardner's multiple intelligence concepts? And then I asked this question: how can the research work of Howard Gardner become an agent of change in efforts to empower the art programs for my students? Finally, in reflection of the accomplishments of Taba, Bruner, and Gardner, is their work compatible enough to create a new effective model to better support the arts programs in my district? Thank you for listening to my presentation. Here are my references, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.